Tier 7, The Outcasts. Deep inside the family tree of the immortal Homo Immortalis line lies a dark basement filled with individuals who don't fit the perfect mold. The Outcast tier holds the rare people who got pushed away or physically changed into something far from the usual beautiful baseline. Instead of living like gods in Olympia, these lonely souls hide in the dark corners of the exclusion, or walk around the planet completely cut off from the great machine. A complete separation from the social framework of their own species defines this group. Their internal cosmic energy matrices have major limitations or weird weaknesses. They are outcasts. Jack of Knives. Meeting a sketchy guy in a dark alley is bad, but meeting an immortal criminal who loves sharp objects is much worse. One mysterious person within this forgotten group is the criminal known as the Jack of Knives. Working deep inside the hidden underground prison complex called the Exclusion, the Jack of Knives is a disgraced Eternal who left the noble path of his family to become a dangerous rogue. This rogue possesses basic physical upgrades shared by all Eternals, like slow aging and super durability. What's insane to me is that he deliberately stopped his wider cosmic growth. The choice was made to focus entirely on close combat assassination methods using mentally charged blades. His powers are quite small compared to his friends. Instead, his tactics rely on hiding in the dark and making daggers instead of throwing massive cosmic storms. What's worse, his special skills actually worked against the strongest heroes. A major event happened when they managed to quietly slip into the heavily fortified mutant island of Krakoa during a massive war. Their goal was to execute the group of mutants who control mutant birth, and they actually managed to assassinate Egg before Wolverine finally stopped them. That wild move showed everyone that even a flawed outcast can use a focused stealth to completely bypass mutant security and take out a high-value target. The criminal basically snuck past an island full of superpowered mutants just to turn a guy named Egg into a very messy morning omelet. Honestly, getting completely outsmarted by a guy named after kitchen cutlery must really bruise the mighty ego of the X-Men security team. Pixie. Having wings sounds great until you realize your main superpower is essentially just giving people terrible allergies. Another prominent example of the outcast tier is the cheerful yet tragic heroine known as Pixie. Originally introduced as a founding member of the secret superhero team called the First Line, Pixie spent decades working under the assumption that she was simply a very long-lived mutant or a magical creature. Total unawareness of her true heritage as an Eternal followed her for years. This happy fighter shows the major features of the outcast tier through her deep genetic differences from the normal baseline. Her physical form is exceptionally small. On top of that, she has thin wings that let her fly, which is a sharp visual departure from the giant heights of traditional Eternals. While she keeps the standard eternal immortality, living from the late 1950s to the modern era without aging a single day, the small hero sadly lacks the physical safety, huge strength, and molecular control skills of her cousins. Instead, her cosmic energy shows up only as the ability to create freezing dust. What I love the most about her is her heroic final move. Her defining moment happened during the big Skrull invasion of Earth. In a desperate choice, Pixie used her hidden cosmic energy to get inside a massive Skrull Armada command ship. She ended up exploding her life force to totally destroy the alien warship and save humanity. Surely exploding sparks end alien space travel completely for everyone nearby. Tier 6, Specialized Utility. Moving up the cosmic ladder brings us to the Specialized Utility tier, which shows a fascinating change in how the gifts from the Celestials are used. The Eternals living in this category have the same large amounts of ambient cosmic energy as the highest levels of their species. However, these specific individuals made a clear choice to direct that endless power into exceptionally narrow, hyper-focused paths. A deliberate sacrifice of normal godhood in exchange for absolute mastery over a single hidden art or a specific political role defines this level of the group hierarchy. These unique specialists rarely fight in massive physical battles with their friends. Kingo Sunin. Giving up laser eyes to become a movie star sounds like a bad career choice, but it works fine here. Kingo Sunin perfectly shows the style of the Specialized Utility tier. Living mostly in Japan and giving centuries of his endless life to the way of the samurai, Kingo completely rejected traditional Eternal combat methods. While capable of flying, molecular changes, and blasting cosmic energy, this fighter refuses to use these abilities in battle. Honor matters too much. Instead, Kingo channels his massive cosmic energy eternally to improve his physical speed, fast reflexes, and the strength of his specialized weapons. The samurai fights solely with a sharp katana made by eternal science, which can easily slice through practically any substance. Not to mention, Kingo functions as a highly successful action movie star, producing samurai films that secretly showcase his real superhuman skills. Craziest thing is that his movie moves are completely real. A defining feat happened when the actor managed to single-handedly destroy a heavily armed squad of deviant commandos using nothing but his trusty samurai sword and quick reflexes. The warrior quickly blitzed their advanced energy weapons before the monsters could pull their triggers. Turns out that centuries of intense acting lessons can actually help you slice through terrifying alien monsters like butter. Druig. Messing with someone's mind is usually frowned upon, but for this creepy guy, it's a full-time job. Druig, ominously known as the Lord of Flames and Nightmares, shows the darker side of the specialty utility tier. Operating at the freezing Siberian stronghold of Polera, Druig recognized early on that the human mind is far more vulnerable target than the physical body. This schemer possesses the standard suite of eternal abilities. Even worse, this Winter Lord focused almost the entirety of his long existence on the absolute control of telepathy, psychological torture, and the domination of lesser minds. His power lies in effortlessly peeling back the layers of a victim's mind to exploit their deepest traumas, profound fears, and darkest secrets. On top of that, Druig projects realistic, agonizing delusions directly into the thoughts of his enemies, rendering physically superior foes totally hapless through sheer mental trauma. This specialized utility makes him an exceptionally dangerous political opponent who is constantly plotting to overthrow his cousin Ikaris. His most impressive feat of telepathic dominance occurred when this villain worked as a ruthless agent for the Russian KGB. He used his terrifying telepathic powers to effortlessly break the minds of captured targets and force them to reveal their hidden secrets. Having a holiday dinner with this guy around must feel like a painful session of forced family therapy, where he brings up every single embarrassing childhood secret just to win an argument about who gets the last turkey slice meat. Tier 5, Support Masters. Next up, we have the Support Masters tier, which occupies the foundational, entirely indispensable role within the grand architecture of the eternal species. These individuals are the brilliant engineers, visionary architects, emotional anchors, and technological inventors who ensure the continued survival and operational supremacy of their kind. What defines this specific level is their profound intellectual and emotional manipulation of the universe around them. Support Masters wield the very same phenomenal cosmic energies as their aggressive peers, but they apply this energy towards creation, preservation, and harmony rather than destruction. They design the wonderful technologies powering the great machine to keep everything working safely today. Phastos. Building high-tech gadgetry is great until you realize your friends use it to smash things. Phastos is the undisputed master technologist of Earth's Eternals, a brilliant inventor viewing his own creations with a complex mixture of immense pride and profound regret. This genius possesses a top-level intellect eclipsing the brightest minds of humanity, allowing him to comprehend, manipulate, and invent technologies seamlessly, blending advanced quantum mechanics with cosmic energy manipulation. His primary power is unparalleled mastery over molecular manipulation. He uses his skill not to turn enemies to stone, but to rapidly assemble, forge, and upgrade the magnificent machinery of Olympia. On top of that, the engineer wields a massive, cosmically powered hammer, serving as both a formidable weapon and a precision engineering tool. Despite his peaceful nature, his role forces him to design devastating armaments his brethren use against the deviants. What makes it even crazier is that he can fix a whole planet. His defining feat occurred when the mischievous sprite used the power of the dreaming celestial to wipe the memories of every single Eternal on Earth. Phastos was mind-wiped into becoming an ordinary automotive engineer named Philip Stoss, but his innate cosmic genius still allowed him to intuitively build advanced machinery from junk scrap. When his real memories finally returned during a crisis, his mechanical brilliance allowed him to instantly fix the group's broken equipment and help wake up his sleeping teammates. Hopefully, the genius remembered to back up the entire planetary hard drive before turning the whole system off and on again, because losing everyone's saved data would be the real cosmic tragedy here anyway. Eros. Having the power to make everyone love you sounds like an absolute dream for any awkward high school kid. Eros of Titan, universally recognized as Starfox, operates as a vastly different kind of support master. While Phastos builds physical infrastructure, Eros manipulates the emotional and psychological states of organic beings. Born on the moon of Titan to the legendary mentor and Sui-san, this handsome hero is the biological brother of the mad titan Thanos, representing the complete opposite of his sibling's obsession with death. Eros utilizes his cosmic energy to stimulate the pleasure centers of the brains of those around him, capable of inducing feelings ranging from mild happiness to overwhelming physical and emotional ecstasy. This unique power makes him the perfect diplomat and a master of de-escalation, neutralizing violent conflicts without ever throwing a single punch. On top of that, the spacefarer possesses localized gravity manipulation, allowing him to fly at immense speeds. Starfox's greatest feat happened during the chaotic world-ending threats of the Axe Judgment Day event. He used real political charisma to travel around the world and talk directly with different human and mutant leaders to coordinate real global peace. But the craziest part happened when he stood at the colossal celestial progenitor to personally argue that humanity was genuinely trying to fight its major problems while actively planning for a peaceful tomorrow. His non-power negotiation successfully persuaded the giant space god to reconsider his final cosmic death sentence. Honestly, weaponizing good vibes on a global scale is definitely one very convenient way to avoid doing any actual hard physical work during a scary intergalactic war with angry space armies all around the place. Tier 4, Specialized Combatant. Moving higher beings brings us to the Specialized Combatants tier, which houses the most terrifying effective physical warriors within the entire Eternal Pantheon. What defines this exalted level of the hierarchy is the total unyielding dedication of an Eternal's vast cosmic energy reserves toward the absolute maximization of a single specific physical attribute. While they technically possess the innate potential for molecular manipulation, telepathy, and cosmic energy projection like their prime internal counterparts, they consciously and systematically suppress those auxiliary abilities. Instead, these fighters funnel every single bit of their power into one chosen physical area, pushing their bodies past every standard limit of their kind. Gilgamesh. Skipping gym day is simply not an option when you have to punch giant green monsters for a living. Gilgamesh, known throughout human history as the Forgotten One, is the absolute pinnacle of physical strength among all earthly Eternals. Having wandered the ancient world performing legendary feats later attributed to heroes like Hercules and Samson, Gilgamesh has channeled all his cosmic vitality entirely into muscle mass, physical density, and raw kinetic power. This titan possesses super strength that is virtually incalculable, completely forsaking the elegant flight and energy blasts of his peers to become an unstoppable, earth-shattering powerhouse in hand-to-hand combat. His physical durability is similarly enhanced, allowing him to shrug off blows that would decimate a normal Eternal. His ultimate feat took place during Jack Kirby's original Eternals run. While the rest of his people were completely occupied performing the ritual of the Uni-Mind, and the Deviant snuck aboard a celestial mothership to plant a massive world-ending explosive. Realizing that the cosmic space gods would completely wipe out humanity if the bomb went off, Gilgamesh came out of exile and flew through orbit. He boarded the ship, fought his way through, and manually ripped the Deviant nuclear device apart with his bare hands. The result blast nearly killed him and left him blindingly drifting into deep space, but his sheer bravery so impressed the one above all, the leader of the Celestial Fourth Host, that the giant space god reached out, pulled him to safety, healed him, and personally renamed him Hero. Honestly, getting personally hand-rescued and hyped up by a giant cosmic space god is a pretty fantastic way to clear your name after spending centuries grounded by your own boss. Makkari. Running fast is great until you realize your brain moves way quicker than anyone can talk. Makkari brings the exact inverse of Gilgamesh's brute force, reigniting as the undisputed master of speed. Rejecting the ability to fly or project destructive energy, Makkari has dedicated his long lifespan to the singular pursuit of ultimate velocity. This speedster meticulously trained his eternal physiology to process cosmic energy exclusively as kinetic propulsion, allowing him to run, react, process information at speeds shattering the boundaries of physics. Even worse, Makkari is completely impatient, constantly vibrating with excessive kinetic energy, and possesses an obsessive desire to become the fastest entity in existence. His dedication to speed is so absolute that it occasionally strains his connection to the Uni-Mind, as his thoughts race too quickly for others to interpret. The runner simply cannot slow down. Makkari's ultimate defining feat of specialized power happened when this hero participated in the legendary Galactic Marathon, a cosmic race arranged by the enigmatic runner. Pushing his body past every conceivable limit, Makkari channeled his total cosmic essence into velocity and successfully outran practically every speedster in the known universe, including Quicksilver and Spectrum, achieving a state of absolute pure velocity that allowed him to almost win the race. Running around the cosmos at maximum speed sounds fun till you realize you always finish your favorite television shows before the popcorn machine even finishes heating up the very first batch of the salty kernels inside the hot glass movie theater box. Tier 3, Prime Eternals. The top of the normal family tree belongs to the Prime Eternals, who hold the absolute peak of balanced evolution. These leaders act as perfect examples for their entire immortal species because they do something very well. Some fighters choose to master only one specific skill, like super speed or fixing advanced planet systems. Instead of doing that, these top elites keep an incredibly high power level across every single cosmic category. Super strength, making objects change shapes, flying fast, and firing energy blasts are completely easy for them. The Celestials created these armies to save worlds from total doom. Zuras. Imagine leading a giant group of immortal supermodels for millions of years without losing your absolute sanity. Zuras stands as the ancient patriarch who successfully guided his immortal family through centuries of turbulent history. This Colossus is the oldest son of Kronos and carried the heavy weight of the celestial plan. Ancient human cultures consistently mistook this giant warrior for the famous Greek god Zeus during early days. What makes it even crazier is that the old leader actively encouraged that rumor to keep order. His personal skills sit right at the very peak of the baseline cosmic power chart. Changing matter on a huge scale and blasting hot waves of cosmic fire are simple tasks for him. On top of that, his mind holds the genetic key to start the group consciousness called Uni-Mind. But the craziest part is that when he had to settle a massive identity crisis by throwing hands with the literal king of Olympus, Zeus got incredibly offended that humans were confusing him with a cosmic look-alike, sparking an all-out war between gods and Eternals. Zuras met the Thunder God directly on the battlefield, matching cosmic energy against pure divine lightning in a brutal duel that shook the ground. Throwing a massive cosmic tantrum just because someone stole your ancient Greek fashion sense is certainly one dramatic way to handle a brand dispute. Ikaris. Flying around with golden glowing eyes sounds super cool until you have to punch an ancient mutant tyrant in the face. Ikaris is known across the galaxy as the unyielding soldier who serves as the righteous arrow of his creators. This stoic fighter spends his endless life hunting down and destroying every single deviant monster on the planet. His power level directly matches his old leader and often goes past him in raw physical combat. Why? Huge amounts of cosmic energy move through his body with incredible accuracy during a dangerous backyard brawl. He fires powerful laser beams from his eyes to break down targets at a small molecular level. Not to mention, his physical strength lets him lift thousands of tons without even breaking a single drop of sweat. But the craziest part happened when he fought the ancient armored mutant conqueror named Apocalypse. Ikaris unleashed his maximum intensity optical laser beams to completely melt the celestial tech armor of his enemy. Beating up a mutant villain means you never need a fancy superhero cape to look cool on TV. Tier 2, Cosmic Tyrant. Terrifying monsters live in the Cosmic Tyrant tier, which contains dangerous individuals who broke the original genetic code completely. These bad apples combined their regular baseline power with unnatural upgrades, weird technology, or deadly mutations. What makes it even crazier is their total lack of respect for the rules of the Great Machine. It's Instead of helping people, these galactic bullies focus entirely on destroying planets across the deep, dark universe. They completely left the peaceful path to acquire massive external sources of power for absolute domination. These walking nightmares rule over massive space fleets to spread deep fear everywhere today. Uranos. Waking up as an old relative is always risky, but waking up as a galactic mass murderer is a complete disaster. Uranos, the Undying, is the genocidal exiled patriarch of the entire species, whose existence remains a tight secret. Millennia ago, this monster rejected the peaceful ideas of his brother Kronos because he wanted to conquer everything. That massive disagreement started a terrible civil war, which ended with his total defeat and long prison sentence. What makes it even crazier is that his special talent for building weapons that can end whole worlds. He views all normal biological life as a pathetic mistake waiting to be corrected with violence. Because of his wild nature, his own people locked him deep inside the core of the exclusion. But the craziest part happened when someone let him out for exactly 60 minutes on a mutant planet. Uranos descended on the world of Krakow to perform a massive planetary slaughter using his advanced machines. He destroyed their main defensive armies and killed thousands of Omega-level mutants, including Magneto. That's why I think giving this maniac a free hour is like giving a hyperactive toddler a loaded rocket launcher inside a glass house. Base Thanos. Purple skin looks decent on a small alien grape, but looks completely terrifying on a giant cosmic warlord. Thanos of Titan is feared across the stars as a mutated powerhouse born to mentor and Sui-san. This big villain carries the rare deviant syndrome, which changed his body into a dense and heavy form. His deep love for Mistress Death drives him to commit huge crimes across the universe on a regular basis. Even without using any special jewelry like the infamous Infinity Gauntlet, this monster is an unstoppable force. He naturally possesses massive strength and great defense against black holes and heavy cosmic energy blasts from his hands. What makes it even crazier is how he easily handles the strongest cosmic heroes without using any cheat codes. A major physical fight happened when he met the Silver Surfer who serves as the Herald of Galactus. Thanos entered a truly brutal backyard brawl against the shiny Space Rider using nothing but his bare purple fists. Clearly getting punched repeatedly by this giant grape is bad news for anyone trying to ride a flying surfboard. Tier 1, Abstract. Reaching the absolute peak of evolution means leaving your normal physical body behind to become a giant concept. The Abstract tier holds the supreme entities who traded away their humanoid shapes for boundless cosmic awareness. These figures don't throw regular punches or shoot simple energy lasers during a street fight. Instead, they focus entirely on changing reality, controlling time, and running massive mental networks across the cosmos. They live everywhere and nowhere at the same time while being completely safe from any physical attacks. Evolving into a fundamental force of nature gives them total power over the entire universe. Kronos. Blowing up your own laboratory sounds like a terrible Tuesday afternoon until you turn into a space god. Kronos was once the great-grandfather of Thanos and the primary leader of the peaceful Earth faction. After winning a massive civil war against his brother Uranos, the scientist focused entirely on space experiments. However, a catastrophic containment accident inside his lab caused the complete vaporization of his physical body. How? His powerful consciousness managed to survive the explosion by merging directly with the fabric of the cosmos. He quickly changed into a giant conceptual entity who lives forever as the embodiment of space and time. The old master no longer uses a regular physical body unless he wants to show up for a meeting. What makes it even crazier is his ability to create new lives from total scratch to fix problems. He intercepted the floating soul of a murdered human named Arthur Douglas to build a completely new warrior. Kronos bound his soul to a massive body called Drax the Destroyer. Becoming a giant cloud of time energy is one very creative way to escape your annoying household chores forever. The Uni-Mind. Sharing your brain with your entire neighborhood sounds like a total nightmare, unless you need to fight space gods. The Uni-Mind stands alone as the absolute peak of the collective power of this whole immortal species. That is not one single character, but a massive glowing brain made of pure incandescent cosmic light. The Eternals create this giant entity when they actively choose to join their physical bodies and minds together. What makes it even crazier is that it holds millions of years of advanced knowledge and power. The creature commands unbelievable mental skills and reality warping power that can process complex things in nanoseconds. A major defining moment happened when the scary fourth host of the Celestials arrived on Earth to give final judgment. Facing total destruction, the group merged together above the high Andes Mountains to launch a desperate offensive strike. The massive brain fired a huge blast of direct energy at the armor of their giant space creators. Merging your brains together is a very intense way to win a huge argument against your landlord. That's it for this one. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more and ring the bell so you never miss a drop. Craving more stories from comics, movies, and beyond? Check out this video right here. Cheers, and see you in the next one.